Hey everybody, this is a new little series that I'm going to be starting on this channel. I did some research and I found that there are 42 official subgenres of movies. So, I have a huge collection of over 1,200 movies on physical media, and I decided, why not give you my top 10 of every single subgenre? So, to kick it off, we're going to start with the genre that everybody loves, comedies, and we're going to go with one of the most famous forms, slapstick comedy. Alright, so some of you may be confused on the different subgenres of comedy. I know I wasn't looked at the list, so for all of us, here's the definition of slapstick comedy. Slapstick is a style of humor involving exaggerated physical activity that exceeds the boundaries of normal physical comedy. Slapstick may involve both intentional violence and violence by mishap, often resulting from inept use of props such as saws, ladders, and other objects. So, as I kind of read this, it's like more physical comedy than word-of-mouth comedy. So getting into it, let's get right into my top 10 favorite slapstick movies in my personal collection. Starting off with number 10, we have Spaceballs. This is an all-time classic. My dad showed me this when I was younger, and I immediately fell in love. He showed me the original Star Wars trilogy before this, and so that made viewing this even better for me. Some of the best humor I've ever seen. You get Lord Helmet, you get yogurt instead of Yoda, you get the scene of him combing the desert. So many memorable, quotable, fantastic comedic moments. This had to be in my top 10. Coming in next at number 9, we have Home Alone 2. This is Lost in New York, and maybe blasphemy, but like I said, this is my personal list, my personal top 10. I was raised in the 2000s. You're going to see that through this list. I have a different perspective than some of you may have, and so just don't forget, if your favorite comedy is not in here, do not be offended. Coming in at number 9, we do have Escape from New York, or Lost in New York, Home Alone 2. This, in my opinion, is better than the original. It's funnier to me. It had more memorable moments. I love the feel of the original while running through the city of New York. Kevin kind of has to work on the fly here using the surroundings that he has, and I just found this a more memorable and fun time. Coming in next at number 8, we have Basketball. This is a very underrated movie. I feel like a lot of people don't know about this. One time when I was younger, like middle school, me and my friend found this on cable TV. We sat down and watched it the whole night, and we fell in love. Not only is it a hilarious comedy, but it actually has a pretty cool story with these two losers inventing a whole new sport and becoming big, famous athletes. It's an awesome movie. I had to pick it up on physical. I haven't rewatched it in many years, but making this video is making me want to go back to this one. Next up at number 7, we have Christmas with the Cranks. Now, I've seen the Rotten Tomatoes and the IMDb scores for this movie, and I gotta say, that's just BS. This is one of the best Christmas comedies of all time, and I don't care what anyone says. Tim Allen is hilarious in this. Jamie Lee Curtis is giving it right back to him. They are fantastic in this movie. Not only is it so funny with the frosty moments and the moment when they're at the tanning salon and the priest walks in. I mean, this movie has so many memorable scenes, but it's also so heartwarming. It has a great story to it with the daughter coming home from Christmas and they have to cancel their vacation. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I don't care what the ratings say. Coming in next at number 6, we have Looney Tunes back in action. Now, I know I said I'm a 2000s kid. This might not make sense being in my list, but growing up, my dad grew up with the Looney Tunes cartoons, so he showed me all of them. And when this movie came out, you have the great Brendan Fraser in here, and this movie brought Brendan Fraser, this great actor, and these great cartoon characters into one. It's like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type situation, but with the Looney Tunes. And man, this movie is perfect for me. I love it so much. Coming in next at number 5, we have Scary Movie 3. And yeah, this is the first time the Scary Movie franchise went PG-13, and yeah, that shouldn't work, but for some reason it does. I mean, this might be the funniest of the franchise. I love the scenes where he's babysitting the little kid. I crack up laughing every time. I love the aliens that you get with the president. I mean, this has to be my favorite Scary Movie. Coming in next, at number 4, and this is very hard for me to keep out of my top 3. I am a huge Adam Sandler fan, but here it is. We have Grown Ups. This movie was a childhood favorite for me. I watched it 50 times growing up. This movie always puts a smile on my face and makes me laugh. I mean, look at this cast. Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Chris Rock, David Spade, Rob Schneider. This is the ultimate comedy movie of our generation. The cast, the story, and it feels like these 5 guys are just best friends who walk into the studio with absolutely no script and just say, screw it, let's just hang out, tell jokes, and make a movie. And it works. It is so funny. Now, before I get into my top 3, I have a few honorable mentions I want to show you guys. You may be wondering why some of these movies were not in my list, and I just have a different taste for comedy than some people, I guess. So my first honorable mention is the original Home Alone. Yes, it's a classic. Yes, I get mostly everyone else in the world likes it more than Home Alone 2. I still love it. I still have it as an honorable mention, but it just doesn't reach the comedic level of the sequel, in my opinion. I apologize for that. My other honorable mention is Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. Now, this time around, the sequel is for sure better than the original. Again, you have it written by James Gunn. He does an amazing job writing these movies, and these are a great, huge part of my childhood. This movie for me was more because it brought all the monsters that you saw from the original cartoon into this movie, plus more. Great, fun, live-action Scooby-Doo time. And my final honorable mention we have is Scary Movie, the original. Again, I have a sequel beating out an original, I know. This movie still is great. This movie still makes me laugh. I honestly, if I could add another honorable mention, I'd probably put Scary Movie 2 in there. The first 3 movies of that franchise are top tier 2000s comedy. I love them so much. After that, you kind of fall off with 4, and then 5 is just a dumpster fire. We don't want to talk about it. But the first 3 are incredible. Alright, getting into my top 3. And coming in at number 3, we have another Christmas movie. This time we have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Chevy Chase, in my opinion, is a comedic genius through his movies and through his time on SNL. And this might be him at his peak. This movie has so many quotable lines. It has so many great moments. You have Crazy Cousin Eddie. You have Chevy Chase doing his thing. The cast is awesome. Taking place around Christmas, you get so many great jokes. The family dynamic is so fun. It's heartwarming. It's funny. It's quotable. This is the perfect Christmas movie. Now, a runner-up coming in at number 2. And these 2, I knew right away coming this would be my top 2. They are movies that I quote every single day. They are movies that me and my friends watch all the time. These movies have meant so much to me. And here at number 2, the runner-up, we have Paul Blart Mall Cop. And I know this isn't a great comedy. I know it's not a great movie. I know it might be crazy to have it at number 2. But this movie is so much fun. Like I said, I quote this movie every single day. Kevin James is at the top of his game in this film, and it's just so much fun. But here we are, our number 1 slapstick comedy in my collection. Coming in at number 1, we have Step Brothers. This is one of the greatest comedies ever made. I rewatched it about a week ago, and I couldn't stop just laughing out loud. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. It will always be a 5 out of 5 movie for me. You have Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly together. They are always great together. Don't talk about Holmes and Watson. These guys are incredible. This is a top 3 comedy for me of all time. and I love this movie with all my heart and soul. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. Let me know what your favorite slapstick comedies are in the comments below. Let me know if you agree with my list, or if you don't, and why you don't. I'd like to hear. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.